Welcome to Sci-Fi Bedtime Stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss new stories. Greetings, listeners. Remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss a single tale. Enjoy. Connor Walsh's vision blurred, a searing light assaulting his senses. His skull pounded, awareness crept back. The stench of charred circuits filled the air. He blinked, striving to see beyond the wreckage. Gone was his spacecraft's sterile interior. Instead, a vibrant, alien landscape surrounded him. Lush vegetation exploded with hues he'd never dreamed existed. "What the hell?" he croaked, pushing himself up. The last memory, his ship hurtling towards an uncharted world. Now he lay amidst scattered debris in a small clearing. A rustling drew his attention. He tensed, hand reaching for his knife. "Hello?" he called, cautiously. Suddenly before him stood the most extraordinary woman. Her skin shimmered sapphire blue, her eyes liquid silver. She was nearly his height, a lithe figure that eclipsed beauty standards. Connor's jaw dropped. Hello," he stammered. The blue-skinned woman's eyes widened with wonder, and she whispered, her voice a song. "Zaro." Before he could react, others emerged. Beautiful women, varying skin tones ranging from lavender to emerald green, all captivated by him. "Ladies," Connor managed, forcing a nervous laugh, "I come in peace." The sapphire woman, Aura, stepped closer. "You are not from here." Connor nodded. "Connor Walsh." And there was an accident. Azora's silver eyes shone. "Earth, we know your world's legends." She spoke rapidly to the others. The group erupted in excited chatter. A statuesque woman with amethyst skin approached gracefully. "I am Vieta. We have never seen a male like you. You are intriguing." Connor blushed. "I'm a bit lost. Can someone tell me where I am?" Azora nodded eagerly. "You crash-landed on Aeum, once a pleasure colony. We are the last inhabitants." She gestured. 30 of us." Connor's brows rose. 30 women. No men? Vieta's laugh echoed like crystals. "No men, until you arrived, Earthman." The implication landed like a shock. He was the only man, surrounded by fascinating alien women. "Well, I should focus on my ship. Get home." Azora's face fell. "You've just arrived. Stay. We have questions about Earth. About you." Connor paused. The right thing was to repair the ship, but their hopeful gazes tugged at him. "I'll stay a while," he conceded. "But first, somewhere to clean up?" Vieta clapped. "Of course. The bathing pools have healing properties." As they led him deeper, Connor felt his life had dramatically changed. He hoped he was ready. The pools shimmered, nestled in a grotto. "These waters will rejuvenate you," Azora explained. "Please, make yourself comfortable." Connor hesitated, suddenly aware of his audience. "Do you ladies mind giving me some privacy?" The women exchanged confused glances. "Privacy?" Vieta inquired. "Where I'm from, it's customary to bathe alone." Azora's eyes widened. "Ah, we shall respect your earthways." She turned, whispering, and, with soft murmurs in their native tongue, the women gracefully withdrew, though Connor couldn't miss the lingering, intensely appreciative gazes that followed him. Left in blissful solitude, Connor wasted no time, shrugging off his tattered clothes and sinking into the exquisitely warm water. The effect was instantaneous, a profound wave of relief washing over him as the gentle heat began to unravel the knots of tension in his aching muscles, and the lingering fog of his bewildering ordeal slowly, blessedly, dissipated from his mind. As he luxuriated in the soothing embrace of the pool, his thoughts spiraled, attempting to grasp the surreal reality of his predicament. Stranded on an utterly alien world, he found himself encircled by beings of breathtaking beauty, their every glance seeming to hold an unspoken fascination for him. It felt like the absurd plot of some pulpy, B-grade sci-fi novel. Yet undeniably, miraculously, here he was. After what felt like an eternity of tranquil oblivion, Connor reluctantly peeled himself from the water's embrace, astonished to find a collection of ethereal garments awaiting him. Flowing, silken pants, and a tunic that shimmered with an otherworldly luminescence, subtly shifting hues with his every movement. Adorned in his surprising new alien raiment, Connor journeyed back to the sun-dappled clearing where his bewildering adventure had truly begun. A familiar, smaller circle of the women now awaited him, among them the serene Azura and the vibrant Violetta. Azura's eyes, like twin sapphires, brightened perceptibly as he drew near, greeting him. "Connor, you look remarkably refreshed. How do you truly feel?" "Much better, thank you," he responded, his hand instinctively raking through his still damp hair. "Though I must confess, my mind is currently overflowing with about 1,000,000 unanswered questions." With an almost liquid grace, Violetta rose, her presence radiating an undeniable warmth. "And we, Earthman," she announced with a playful glint in her eyes, "possess just as many inquiries for you. But first, it is imperative that we extend a proper welcome to Elysium." She extended a delicate, inviting hand. "Would you be willing to join me in our sacred traditional dance of greeting?" Connor hesitated, a flush creeping up his neck. "I should probably warn you," he admitted. I'm genuinely not much of a dancer." Violetta's laugh, a cascade of pure, melodic delight, filled the air. "Fear not, my unexpected guest," she assured him, her gaze unwavering. "I shall be your steadfast guide." She took his outstretched hand, and Connor felt an unexpected, undeniable jolt of pure energy, like a spark of static electricity, course through him at her gentle touch. Violetta began to sway, her slender form moving with an almost liquid grace, a mesmerizing flow that captivated him. Connor, in stark contrast, did his utmost to mimic her intricate steps, but his own movements felt impossibly clumsy, profoundly awkward beside her effortless elegance. As their impromptu dance continued, more of the alien women quietly gathered, their curious gazes fixed upon him. He could discern their soft whispers, the faint, bell-like giggles that rippled through the air, each sound a tiny pinprick that only intensified his already heightened self-consciousness. He stumbled then, a sudden misstep, nearly losing his precarious balance. Violetta, with practiced ease, gently steadied him, her hand lingering on his arm for a fraction of a moment longer than perhaps strictly necessary. "You are doing wonderfully, truly," she encouraged, her smile radiant. "And now, for our final, triumphant move." She spun away from him with an exquisite, weightless grace, clearly expecting Connor to catch her in a dramatic flourish. Instead, his feet conspired against him. He tripped, a flailing tangle of limbs, sending them both sprawling unceremoniously to the soft ground. The watching throng of women erupted in a chorus of joyous, uninhibited laughter, a sound free of any malice or mockery. To his surprise, Connor found himself joining in, a genuine chuckle bubbling up from his own chest. As Violetta, still giggling, helped him back to his feet, he offered a sheepish grin. "Perhaps," he quipped, "we should stick to Earth dances in the future, if you're ever visiting." Azura gracefully approached, her eyes twinkling with genuine amusement. "I believe, Connor," she offered, "it is now time we introduced you to our village. There is indeed much to discuss and understand." As they began to walk, Connor found himself acutely aware of the myriad glances cast his way by the other women, a potent blend of intense curiosity, undeniable admiration, and something else, something subtly alluring, that sent an unfamiliar tremor through his very pulse. He had never, in his entire life, been the recipient of such overwhelming, collective female attention. "So," he began, his voice a little strained as he consciously tried to tear his gaze away from the endlessly alluring alien women who seemed to encircle him at every turn. "You mentioned this place was once a pleasure colony. What precisely does that truly imply?" Azura's serene expression grew subtly thoughtful. "Many eons ago," she began, her voice hushed, "the most advanced races in the cosmos would journey to this world for recreation and companionship." She cast a fleeting, almost shy glance his way, a faint, intriguing blush of color rising on her already striking blue cheeks. "We are, in essence, the direct descendants of those who were, for reasons unknown, simply left behind when the colony was ultimately abandoned." Connor's mind reeled, grappling with the profound implications of her words. "And you've been entirely alone, completely isolated, all this time?" he pressed, disbelief lacing his tone. Violetta offered a solemn nod. "Indeed. We have, over generations, meticulously forged our own unique society, our own distinct way of life here. Yet deep in our hearts, we have always yearned, always wondered, about the myriad worlds that lie far beyond our own." They soon arrived at the shimmering outskirts of what appeared to be a thriving, yet intimately scaled, settlement. The very architecture here defied all earthly comprehension. Organic structures that seemed to have sprouted directly from the living earth itself, their surfaces alive with the same ethereal opalescent shimmer that had enchanted him in the bathing pools. A substantial crowd had already gathered, an astonishing assembly of women, each one breathtakingly beautiful in her uniquely alien fashion. As Connor passed, he could distinctly hear their excited whispers, see their delicate fingers pointing in his direction. Some, with startling boldness, even reached out, their soft fingertips brushing his arm or gently trailing through his hair. "Ladies, please," Azura interjected softly, a clear note of gentle amusement echoing in her tone. "Let us allow our cherished guest a little space, if you please." From the eager throng, one woman, her skin a remarkable pale mint green, stepped forward with an almost reverent curiosity. "Azura, is it truly so?" she whispered, her voice laced with awe. "Is he genuinely from Earth?" Connor, feeling a strange mix of apprehension and pride, offered a confirming nod. "Connor Walsh," he introduced himself, trying for a confident demeanor. "At your service." He extended his hand, only remembering too late that this common Earth gesture might be entirely foreign to them. To his profound surprise, the green-skinned woman, with an almost tender reverence, grasped his hand firmly in both of hers, her wide eyes fixed on his with boundless wonder. "I am Emeralda," she breathed, her voice a soft gasp. "Your skin, it is so wonderfully warm." Connor, a deep flush rising to his cheeks, gently, almost apologetically, withdrew his hand, feeling utterly overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of their collective gaze. "It's, truly wonderful to meet all of you," he managed to stammer, a nervous laugh escaping him. "Though I have to admit, this is definitively not how I envisioned my day unfolding when I woke up this morning." Emeralda, her head tilting in innocent confusion, asked, "How did you expect it to go then?" Connor chuckled, a genuine burst of amusement. "Well," he confessed, "I most certainly didn't plot a course for crash landing on a vibrant alien world, overflowing with astonishingly beautiful women who seem so utterly fascinated by me. It's a bit like winning the grand prize in a lottery and simultaneously being struck by a bolt of lightning." The women exchanged puzzled glances, their expressions a mix of curiosity and bewilderment. "Lottery?" Violetta echoed, her brow furrowed. "Lightning?" "Oh, those are just Earth expressions," Connor quickly clarified, feeling a touch foolish. "I simply meant that this entire experience is profoundly unexpected." Azura, Her understanding eyes softening, placed a comforting, reassuring hand on his arm. "I'm quite certain you must feel utterly overwhelmed by it all, Connor. Come, allow us to guide you to a place where you can find true rest. We can then continue our discussions, and perhaps delve deeper into our cull." Morning arrived, and Azora led him into a haven of serenity. Connor's thoughts raced, trapped in a day of otherworldly marvel. From a routine mission to a planet brimming with captivating alien forms, his reality shattered. As he sank into the living bed, a part of him, torn between duty and longing, could only anticipate the unfolding mysteries. The dwelling breathed with life, soft glows dancing on the walls. Outside, the gentle rhythm of bioluminescent plants bathed the space in tranquility, a sanctuary for a man utterly consumed by the unexpected. Azora's presence was magnetic as she guided him. Her movements flowed like liquid moonlight. Her skin, a deep, captivating blue, seemed to capture the ambient light, forming a mesmerizing dance of shadow and light, a beauty unlike anything he had ever known. Her expressive eyes held wisdom and mystery, her glances filled with a warmth that ignited a fire within him. The bed, a living entity, embraced his form, a cocoon of perfect comfort. Beside him, Azora's touch sent electrifying shivers through his being. As they drew closer, the air crackled with unspoken desire. Her fingers traced patterns across his skin, igniting waves of sensation. The intoxicating scent of the alien flora mingled with her breath. They were lost in a dance of exploration and deepening desire. Her pleasure was a symphony of stifled cries and whispered sighs, a testament to their intertwined connection. The boundaries between them blurred, their bodies moving in synchronized rhythm. As they shared their intimacy, the bed seemed to synchronize with their breaths, a hypnotic cadence to their union. Afterward, Azora's eyes sparkled with serene satisfaction. Connor marveled, as if transported to a realm where time and reality had become one. This new world, with its wonders, had already begun to reshape him. He knew this encounter was a pivotal moment, changing his perception forever. He awoke to a soft, alien glow. Azora was there, her sapphire skin shimmering in the dim light, a smile gracing her lips. "Good morning, Earthman," she murmured. "Come," she said. "The others eagerly await our cultural exchange." As they emerged, Connor was once again mesmerized by Alium's beauty. The village pulsed with activity, the women pausing, their eyes lingering on him. They neared a communal gathering area. Emeralda waited, a table laden with exotic fruits and "Be a radiant, shimmering nectar. Ah, our precious Earth guest is awake," Emeralda declared, her sea-green eyes alight with a captivating sparkle. "I truly hope you rested well." Connor nodded, striving to recall the vital phrase Aura had shared the prior evening. Zarak Matala?" he tentatively offered. Emeralda's gaze widened dramatically, her very skin blushing to a breathtaking emerald hue. The assembled women dissolved into infectious giggles and hushed whispers. "Connor, my dear," Azura chimed in, barely suppressing a laugh. "I believe your intention was to say, 'Good morning.'" She continued, a playful smirk gracing her lips. "What you actually conveyed was, rather charmingly, a deeply passionate declaration of love, complete with suggestive tentacles." Connor felt a searing heat rise to his face. "Oh, gracious, I am so incredibly sorry. I truly didn't mean..." "Immoral?" Emeralda winked with a touch of playful mischief. "There is absolutely no need for apologies, dear Earthman. Your sheer enthusiasm is quite captivating." She then gracefully gestured towards the table, laden with food. "Please partake. You will certainly require your strength for the day's unfolding adventures." As Connor tentatively sampled the alien fare, which proved surprisingly and delightfully palatable, Violetta approached. Her amethyst-toned skin seemed to radiate with the morning's gentle glow. "Connor," she murmured, her voice as smooth and comforting as silk. "I had hoped you might join me later. I am eager to share some of our cherished artistic traditions with you." Before he could offer a response, another woman, whose skin bore the rich hue of burnished copper, interjected smoothly. "But surely he would prefer to learn about our advanced technology. I could personally guide him through the archives." Connor found himself unexpectedly at the heart of a delightful, yet escalating debate, each woman vying to capture his undivided attention. He managed to catch Azura's eye, silently pleading for her intervention. With a decisive clap of her hands, she expertly drew everyone's focus. "Ladies, please. Our guest has only just arrived. There will be ample time for all of these wonderful experiences." She continued, her tone gentle yet firm. "For this moment, perhaps we could dedicate ourselves to helping Connor acclimate to our world." The group, though reluctantly, assented. However, Connor couldn't help but notice the subtle, yet palpable, competitive glances exchanged between some of the women. Following their shared breakfast, Connor ventured out to explore the village, accompanied by the ever-gracious Azura and Emeralda. As they strolled, he eagerly peppered them with inquiries about Elysium and its fascinating inhabitants. "You mentioned this was a pleasure colony," he began. "Yet it seems you've cultivated an entire society here. How does that function without, well, men?" Emeralda offered a knowing, enigmatic smile. "We have remarkably adapted. Our bodies possess the capability for self-fertilization when the need arises, but it has been countless generations since we have encountered a male of any species." Connor stumbled slightly, the weight of this revelation momentarily affecting his stride. "Oh, that is certainly interesting." Azura gently placed a steadying hand upon his arm. "Does this make you feel uncomfortable?" He shook his head emphatically. "No, not uncomfortable, merely processing. There is so much about your world that is fundamentally different from Earth." As their tour progressed, Connor's innate engineering instincts began to surface. He observed several areas where the village's infrastructure could undoubtedly be improved. Approaching what appeared to be a communal bathing area, he paused, a thoughtful expression on his face. "You know," he mused aloud, "I have a strong feeling I could devise a far more efficient water distribution system right here. Perhaps even create some kind of rudimentary shower mechanism." Azura's eyes lit up with genuine delight. "Oh, that would be absolutely wonderful. While our bathing pools are incredibly lovely, there are indeed moments when a quicker option would be most appreciated." Connor grinned, his mind already abuzz with designs, sketching out plans mentally. "Give me a few hours and some readily available basic materials, and I shall see what I can accomplish." Several hours later, Connor stood back, a sense of accomplishment washing over him as he admired his creation. He had ingeniously cobbled together a surprisingly functional, albeit rudimentary, shower system utilizing local plant fibers, intricate crystalline structures, and a few salvaged components from his crashed vessel. "All right, esteemed ladies," he announced to the curious crowd that had gathered. "Who is ready to be the very first to experience Earth-style bathing?" A brief, expectant moment of hesitation hung in the air. Then Violetta stepped forward with a graceful confidence, her vibrant violet curls bouncing with each deliberate step. "I volunteer," she declared, a decidedly mischievous glint dancing in her eyes. Connor swallowed hard, a nervous flutter in his chest. "Right. Well, you simply need to step under here, and then I shall activate the water flow." He pulled the lever he had cleverly rigged, anticipating a gentle, refreshing cascade. Instead, an astonishing torrent of multicolored, effervescent liquid erupted forth, drenching not only Violetta, but a significant portion of the assembled onlookers. Spluttering, Connor desperately attempted to halt the flow, but the mechanism seemed to possess a will of its own. Soon, The entire village square was awash in a sea of vibrantly hued bubbles. To his immense relief, the women showed no signs of distress, quite the opposite, in fact. They erupted in laughter, splashing one another gleefully and sliding through the delightful foam. Esmeralda seized his hand, pulling him with infectious enthusiasm into the joyous commotion. "Come, Earthman," she giggled, her voice full of pure delight. "Join in the wonderful fun you have so brilliantly created." Before he could even fully comprehend it, Connor found himself immersed in the heart of an impromptu, exhilarating foam party. The alien women swirled around him, their striking, colorful skin glistening with moisture, playfully flicking bubbles in his direction. Violetta sidled up to him, her damp attire clinging alluringly to her lithe form. "I must say, Connor," she purred, her voice a melodic whisper, "your earth-bathing customs are quite remarkably invigorating." He laughed, running a hand through his soap-slicked hair, a wide, genuine smile gracing his features. "This isn't precisely how showers are intended to function, but I am genuinely delighted you are enjoying it so thoroughly." As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the landscape, the foam eventually dissipated, leaving behind a sense of shared joy. Connor, utterly exhausted yet exhilaratingly content, found himself drawn into a captivating conversation with Aura. They settled on a serene hilltop, overlooking the tranquil village, and watched as the alien moons began their majestic ascent into the darkening sky. "Tell me about the stars as they appear on Earth," Azura inquired, her voice laced with a profound sense of wonder. "Are they truly very—" Unlike us, Connor began illustrating Earth's constellations in the dirt, captivating Azura with his celestial explanations. Her insightful questions showcased her profound astrophysical understanding. As the night deepened, their conversation soared from scientific marvels to philosophical musings, then intimate confessions. Connor revealed his earthly life, hopes, and fears, a vulnerability he'd never known. Azura leaned closer, her silvery eyes mirroring the starlight, whispering, "Connor Walsh, you're extraordinary. It feels like we've known each other for ages." The air crackled with anticipation. His heart pounded as Azura's face neared. Just as their lips were about to meet, Esmeralda's excited voice cut through the silence. "Connor! Azura! Hurry!" The rare night-blooming Czar lily was about to unfurl its petals. Azura, a blend of wistful disappointment and amusement gracing her features, urged them to go. Descending the hill, Connor wrestled with his burgeoning feelings for Azura, yet acknowledged the deep connections he shared with the others. Violetta's artistic fire, Esmeralda's nurturing spirit, each woman captivated him uniquely. Days flew by, a whirlwind of ship repairs, village projects, and deepening relationships. With Violetta, he stumbled through traditional dances, their laughter echoing as he gradually mastered her guidance. Exploring the forest with Esmeralda, he learned of medicinal plants, her gentle touch electrifying him. His evenings with Azura, however, remained the most perplexing. Their intellectual bond intensified, the physical attraction undeniable. One starlit night, Azura's serious gaze pierced him. "Connor," she began, "I must ask." He nodded, his pulse racing. Hesitantly, she revealed their tradition, a competition for his affections, a showcase of each woman's unique charm and compatibility. Reassured it wasn't binding, she voiced her hope to win his heart. That night, Connor grappled with conflicting emotions. He was captivated by these alien women, their culture, intelligence. But could he envision a future here? How could he choose when each held such irresistible appeal? His Elysian journey was far from over, the greatest challenges and joys yet to unfold. 2 years later, Elysium felt like home. From his balcony, watching the triple moons, he marveled at his transformed life. A soft cry drew his attention. Azura, cradling their son, Orion. The baby's iridescent blue skin, a breathtaking blend of his parents', shimmered. At 6 months, Orion displayed remarkable intelligence, his silver eyes tracking movements, solving puzzles with ease. Azora joined him, murmuring about Orion's restlessness, sensing the upcoming excitement. It was the festival of renewal, Connor's first as a father. Violetta's melodic laughter echoed. She appeared with their daughter, Aurora, a vibrant whirlwind of color, babbling and pointing at the moons. "Papa, dance!" Aurora exclaimed. Connor, kissing Azora's cheek, descended to the garden, where he joined Violetta and Aurora's playful dance, their laughter filling the night, and even managed a traditional dance without any significant mishaps. As the sun began its descent, Violetta found him, her expression a blend of eagerness and slight unease. "Connor, you must come quickly. We've uncovered something unexpected." She led him to the village's edge, where a small crowd had congregated. Approaching, Connor saw the cause of their excitement. A section of the ground had given way, revealing a hidden chamber below. Within, bathed in an ethereal blue luminescence, stood an archway adorned with intricate symbols. Emeralda stepped forward, her eyes wide with discovery. "It's a portal," she whispered. "One of the ancient gateways used by our earliest settlers. We always believed them to be mere fables." But Connor's mind raced. A portal, a passage back to Earth. He had long since resigned himself to the possibility of returning home, having found profound contentment in his new existence on Elysium. But now, facing an impossible choice, a tempest of feelings crashed over him. Azora was suddenly there, her brow furrowed with worry. "Connor, are you all right?" He gave a slow nod, his gaze locked on the shimmering gateway. I truly don't know. This is overwhelming." Word of the discovery raced through the festival. As darkness descended, Connor stood at the heart of a hushed gathering, all eyes fixed on him with eager anticipation. He saw the raw fear and deep uncertainty mirrored in his partner's faces, the utter bewilderment in his children's innocent eyes. Taking a steadying breath, Connor began. "I realize you all seek answers regarding this development. The stark reality is, I possess no definitive clarity myself, but I must impress upon you all that my existence here, alongside each of you, has been the most magnificent journey I could have ever conceived." He paused, his gaze tenderly sweeping across the beloved faces surrounding him. "This gateway, it represents a connection to my origins, but you, every single one of you, you are my absolute future." With a resolute stride, Connor advanced toward the portal. He extended his hand, his fingertips hovering mere inches above the activation console. A moment of profound hesitation hung in the air, a collective breath held by everyone present. Then, with unwavering decision, he deactivated the mechanism. A startled gasp rippled through the crowd, immediately erupting into a thunderous ovation. Connor turned back, his heart overflowing with emotion as he met his family's gazes. Azora, Violetta, and Emeralda surged forward, pulling him into a warm, encompassing embrace. The children, sensing the gravity of the instant, joined the embrace, their small arms encircling whatever part of Connor they could reach. As the jubilant celebration swelled around them with revitalized energy, Connor found himself on a gentle rise overlooking the tranquil village, his partners and children nestled close, all mesmerized by the breathtaking spectacle of the triple moonrise. "You know," Connor remarked, a playful sparkle in his eyes, "we really ought to organize some sort of intergalactic parenting seminar. Seriously, with the three of you and my Earth experiences, our poor kids are going to be utterly bewildered." Violetta chuckled softly, resting her head on his shoulder. "Perhaps we could even devise a new temporal system, one boasting 500 days? That might provide sufficient structure to keep track of all the numerous birthdays and anniversaries." And don't forget the pet birthdays, Emeralda added merrily, gently touching Aurora's hair, where a puff pal had made its home. Azora simply shook her head, a fond smile gracing her lips. You understand, naturally, that any framework we establish will likely become outdated within a year. Our family possesses an uncanny knack for unforeseen expansion. Connor grinned, his gaze drifting over the twinkling village lights below. I wouldn't trade it for anything. As their laughter floated on the night air, a deep sense of tranquility washed over Connor. This vibrant, wonderfully chaotic, loving family was everything he never knew he craved. And here, beneath the unfamiliar sky of Elysium, he had finally found his true home. As the laughter began to fade, Connor surveyed the village once more, his eyes tracing the silent path of the now dormant portal. A soft breeze carried the intoxicating perfume of night-blooming flora, a gentle reminder of his profound affection for this alien world. You know, he said, his voice filled with contemplation, I believe it's time we begin envisioning our future, not just for ourselves, but for all of Elysium. Aura tilted her head, curiosity igniting in her luminous silver eyes. What exactly do you envision, Connor? Connor beamed, a familiar surge of excitement for a new endeavor illuminating his features. Well, we possess this extraordinary fusion of Earth and Elysium technology and cultural practices. Why wouldn't we leverage it to foster the planet's prosperity? We could institute an educational framework that harmonizes the strengths of both civilizations, perhaps even explore avenues for sustainable growth. Violetta clapped her hands with pure joy. Oh, and we could weave in artistic expressions and musical traditions from both our heritages. Imagine the breathtaking performances we could stage. And we mustn't overlook advancements in healing and botanical sciences, Emeralda contributed, gently stroking the hair of baby Tara, who let out a soft coo. The potential for integrating our collective knowledge is simply immense. As their voices mingled, their shared enthusiasm mounting, the children began to stir. Aurora tugged at Connor's sleeve, her delicate skin shimmering with an enchanting blend of curious blues and greens. Papa, can we contribute as well? Connor's heart swelled with paternal pride. He scooped his daughter into his arm, pressing a kiss to her forehead. Of course, my darling. In fact, you and your siblings are the absolute core of this endeavor. You represent the dawning future of Elysium. Orion, unwilling to be left out, nestled into Azura's lap, his silver eyes reflecting an intelligence far beyond his tender years. Build new home? He inquired, his vocabulary surprisingly sophisticated for his age. Precisely, little one, Aura replied, her voice thick with tender emotion. Together, we shall construct a new home for us all. As the three moons ascended to their highest point, bathing the land in an ethereal radiance, Connor rose, extending his hand to his partners. So what do you say we embark on this? We have an entire new world awaiting our shaping. One by one, they stood, children cradled or clinging to their legs, as they began their descent back toward the village, a cascade of ideas flowing effortlessly between them. Connor felt a profound sense of purpose, a feeling he had never experienced before. This was more than merely existing on an alien planet or discovering love in unexpected realms. This was about forging a lasting legacy, a world's final hour could birth something breathtaking. Below, festival lights danced, and music echoed with laughter. It spoke of joy, of life blossoming. Against all the odds, with wisdom combined and children's boundless futures, hope gleamed. At the village's edge, Connor paused, absorbing the view. Elysium's vibrant people merged with structures he'd helped build. A beautiful fusion, a testament to love's strength. We'll need a larger calendar, he chuckled, eyes twinkling, for all the new holidays. Emeralda laughed, shaking her head. Always practical, Connor. Perhaps a holographic one that expands forever? Now you're speaking my language. He grinned, embracing her. Rejoining the festivities, belonging bloomed within him. This family unusual loving was everything. Under Elysium's starry sky, enveloped by community and limitless potential, Connor found his true home. This story, Earthman and Alien Family, was just beginning, destined for ages. A tale of love, adaptation, of the remarkable things that happen when two worlds meet.